Ooh! Oh, that's that. The fucking countdown theme
Yeah, I put a
almost
space
worked.
between counting down. Jesus.
Yeah, hello, welcome to this Fast Food Thursday, where I actually got some fucking fast food for a change. I got a pizza from my local kebab place. The problem is, it's enormous. This is the smallest size that they have. This is bigger than my face by like a significant amount. So, it's gonna be difficult eating this. This is a seafood pizza. Um, and now I just can't see anything that's happening on Discord. So this is your chance
Yeah.
to post child pornography, and I will be very late at detecting it. People who can access the studio. Um,
Don't tell me that. I'm a terrible person.
mm,
Ah, shit.
I probably gotta find the live chat.
And and now
I can prop it out and actually see what people are talking about in it. That's very good.
and now it auto played Who Wants to Be a Millionaire theme. Fuck, I'm adding that to my playlist actually.
Go to
I,
the
I,
here's when we go to the Amazon and make some s'mores. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. And like the way that Bolsonaro is reacting it to it's just the dumbest fucking shit. Like, of course it's your fucking fault if you just deregulate logging and mining.
Wait, is that what they did to cause the giant fires?
No, it was probably from a mine because they use explosive charges and like forest fires like this have happened in the past from mining
To,
operations.
to to log, they use explosives. Are they learning from the Americans?
Probably. I mean, not this size forest fire, but yeah. Uh, just destroying the green lung of the earth, setting free carbon that's been trapped for thousands of years.
Yes, let's heat the atmosphere up. Let's turn our planet into Mustafar, so we
And
all look
he's
like
and he's
actual
like, no, it's just the dumbest motherfucker. And this might be the only week where Donald Trump isn't like considered the biggest cunt head of state in the world. So congratulations to Jair Bolsonaro for that. The ability to do that. It's from agricultural clearing. Is that how it got out of control? I heard it was from mining. But that
Oh,
does make
so they
sense, yeah.
actually set fire to land for
Oh yeah, they've been doing that for like forever, but
yeah. Since we figured out we could just stay in one place instead of being ugga bugger and
but this
firing
but this
arrows.
time around they
Says the
it got out of
Englishmen who
control.
up to 1500s use arrows to win battles against the French. Yeah, we're ugga bugger over here. We haven't westernized. We actually went down from westernization. We are now considered Eastern.
Eastern America, isn't it?
I was thinking like I'm thinking EU4 tech groups. Eastern is like Europe, Poland, and Russia.
I mean, fucking, you have an NFL team in London. I think no, there's a stadium, but they're thinking about giving you one.
Stop Americanizing us, you fucks. The moment we drop and like coffee becomes main consumption, that's when I become a shooter. Oh wait, no, can't get that over here. All right, I'll have to resort to spoons.
Anyone remember the time the Siberian tiger was reduced in size by 1 metric Belgium this year? Yeah.
People, I don't get these like, oh, gotta hunt for. It's like we can synthesize almost all the stuff you want from an animal. And don't give me that ugga bugger, it heals people bollocks. I could spread malaria.
What do you mean
Trust
it
me, it's not
heals
gonna stop.
people?
Ivory and tiger claws and shit that like Chinese seem to think like
Yeah, it
is
doesn't though,
medicinal.
is the thing.
But
That's
they're the
not
ones
medical
paying.
fact, that's like homeopathy shit.
I know it's not medical fact. I'm on about the fact that the reason they're getting killed is because people pay money thinking it does shit like that. Or, because I'm a big man, I can hunt big animal. I think we should genetically resurrect T-Rexes and release them.
We should genetically resurrect mammoths. There was
Should you
one guy
mention
who
any?
I don't know what his plan was, but somehow putting mammoths back in Siberia was essential to his idea to fight climate change.
Why? Because loggers would have a problem.
I don't. There was something about the environmental niche that they filled. But I don't remember what.
In other news, I recently had a discussion with a friend of mine about best music composers, and he was convinced Hans Zimmer is best. And I'm like, he's like one sort of track thought. A
Yeah,
lot
Hans
of music
Zimmer has
sounds-
one thing that he does. It's a good thing, but he's a one-trick pony.
My old favorite was John Williams, but then I realized, oh wait, Masayoshi Soken has done so much different styles of music for Final Fantasy XIV, and they're all just fucking amazing.
Koji Kondo is very good, obviously. I'm a big fan of fuck, what's the guy who did the soundtracks for Oblivion and Skyrim? Jeremy Soule. And I also like Michael McCann, who did XCOM and fucking Deus Ex. Like Enemy Unknown. No, Deus Ex Enemy Unknown. Yes, that one.
Deus Ex has some amazing. Just like I've only played Human Revolution, but I like a lot of tracks. There are a lot of tracks you can play in background and be annoyed by.
No. The animal introducing the mammoths up there would be actually have a stabilizing effect to it because that's where mammoths are from. Apparently, I don't even know. So they would like you can basically still feel the absence of the mammoth there.
You know, like speaking of extinct things, New Zealand would literally be Middle Earth, almost by the letter to the animals, if man wasn't there. Because the giant eagles that they had. But man, like, killed all of its food source and then it just starved.
Well, I mean, white man did.
No, it was extinct before white man discovered the island existed. Like, the aboriginals killed the late natives. Killed the natives. Let me reword that. The native species. That was the giant eagle. But if that was still around today, my God, New Zealand would have a better animal than America. That's for sure.
The emu. Is it?
That's Australia.
Oh. No. There was this other bird.
When your national bird is your fucking
It's your
national
mortal enemy.
It's like
Imagine
New
they
Zealand
put
killed...
Osama bin Laden on the US flag. You were saying something?
Just thinking it's like New Zealand natives kill off their indigenous bird, and then there's Australia. Indigenous bird kills native. Sparrows must have told them of the dangers of humans. Maybe it's because emus, like, because their wings are like tilted back, they're by default always Naruto running.
Ah. Yeah, that's how they won. You should get those to Area 51.
Florida man, New Zealanders had orcs when white man arrived. You see, all the Welsh we sent over there is like penal and shit. They're the orcs, and then the white man English is obviously the Urukai.
No, the Scots are the Urukai, innit?
Oh, so English are the goblins.
Yeah.
Goblins.
I'd say that's accurate.
No, actually, I didn't say it. Call the Aboriginals orcs at all.
I'm like, I can't see the latest thing in the studio chat, so I can't really follow this conversation that you're having with these people. I can only see it as to like the upper half of those messages because the pizza carton is blocking the rest of the screen.
I don't think orcs did fuck sheep. The Welsh, though.
They ate sheep.
Man flesh. Orakai theme is so cool. Oh, a lot of the music in Lord of the Rings is just amazing.
Oh yeah, John Williams is fucking dope, my man.
No, not John Williams for Lord of the Rings.
Oh no, that was Star Wars. What? Who's the
Wrong. It's scrolling up. Howard Shaw.
Yeah.
John Williams did
Star Wars.
music for The Patriot, Star Wars, Empire of the Sun, Harry Potter, Schindler's List,
Ooh,
Superman,
Harry Potter.
Jurassic Park. Yeah, John Williams did Harry Potter.
It's like this the Star Wars rolling screen. It's 1933. The National Socialists have taken over Germany. And then it's instead of Star Wars, it's Schindler's List.
Oh fuck! I wanna make that now. It's just the opening credits, just explaining the situation in 1941.
That's just one of the cheapest things that they just got away with.
What, ripping off the entire the entire Star Wars Death Star trench run is like Squadron 633, I think it is. Yeah. Which is a film about mosquitoes attacking this cliffside to make it fall and like cause avalanche and shit. It's like, I have to admit, there are some war films back in the day that don't quite like it. It's got a lot of good moments, but then like the thing they're trying to do just seems really fucking mundane and wouldn't affect the war in the slightest. It's like, oh yes, attack a cliff because that's gonna
No, that's
stop
meta.
them.
That's the meta commentary is that all the suffering that you have in war is for nothing.
Nah, man.
Now,
Clearly to beat the Hun.
this is the Watch Burger Eat Pizza stream. That is exactly what this is. Look, it's thematic. Even though this pizza
it's
took
called
20
fast food
minutes, so it's
for a
not
reason,
fast food.
people. What were you expecting? Who did Dambusters thing?
Yeah. I don't know why you're watching this. Go away. Genuinely, the best part about these live streams is the title, and you can see that in your subscription feed, and then you don't click on it.
N-word P dot pa. I keep wanting to say pass. Jesus fuck. Brain,
No.
stop crashing.
P-ass.
That's the sound a gun makes.
And it's not even because I'm alone here now. There's not even like a conversation going on.
Favorite color? Are you gonna be one of those people that's just like, nah, man, I'm beyond that sort of shit?
My favorite color is your mom's pussy, eh? Ah. No, oh fuck. Now I have to get some more water.
Good. Choke before your poor jokes. Antifa, white supremacist. They're both stupid. Like anyone that resorts to any kind of violence in a democratic society will lose all favor with the public.
Ah!
Spam stupid shit in here.
Ah!
Dun, 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 dun. Why did I go into that? That's not the.
Citizen Kane eats half a kilo of carbs. Yes. This is an irony podcast. Listen, that's why I can say the Holocaust didn't happen, because this is an irony podcast. And so I'm not actually saying that. Oh, fucking Freestwalker, are you talking? Are you still muted? You could unmute yourself. You do know that, right? You're a mod. I mean, maybe he's just the same thing as last time. The Nazis stole the swastika and Ganesh wants it back. That's a film that I want to see.
I know, that'd be great.
Just fucking Indian gods.
Honestly, if they made that, it could be like the most like.
It's
you know how everyone's tensed up about all these nights. That could be the thing that just breaks it. You know.
It's just like a Bollywood film where they fight Nazis. It's like, we are actually we are the real Aryans, okay? So you fucking white people.
The aliens realized you were stupid, so they sided with the true rulers of Earth.
And then Ganesh stops the Holocaust because he's like, they kill people with big noses. I would be a hypocrite if I continued killing them just because I am Aryan. God damn it. I'm sorry, what the fuck is this?
I'm terrified.
It even looks like he has his hand on his hips with the thumb.
Most
Holy
of the
shit.
Eastern world don't have the same sort of connotations that that Hitler is mega evil.
They haven't gotten that memo that all that shit was pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure the East views Hitler in the same way we English view Napoleon. You know, yeah, he was terrible and he was an enemy, but gotta admire a guy that literally coalitioned the entirety of fucking Europe against him. Not France, just him.
There's a lot. I saw this thing about like Japanese people who had no idea what the fuck a swastika even is.
Well,
even though it actually is quite prominent there.
Yeah, it's just a symbol.
The fuck are you talking about, Sitor Ungodly Hours? It's fucking 2218. I'm sorry, this is actual Hitler ice. Okay, this is. And it's not like a mistake. It's like they make it clear that no, this isn't just something that is named Hitler and the word Hitler just means something in a different language. No, we mean the Hitler. Just so there's no confusion about this.
India is trying to, like, where China is like, oh, everyone has to be. India's just like, we can weaponize the fact that people despise this, and then the other side, that like memes and shit, will buy the shit out of it. I mean,
I genuinely don't think that you can get this in Europe. That's a cool-looking ice cream cone, though. Like, it has a good color.
Well, it's ein Reich, ein Wir, ein Für.
Ein Eis. India loves ice cream. Well, then I should probably... No, I'm not going to go to India. But there's, like... India's such a fucking diverse place. With just so many...
Unless you're Muslim.
So many different, like, cuisines and cultures.
When people, like, turn around and they're just like, how dare you be anti-Muslim? Well, aren't you diverse? And India's like, we accept everyone but them. Because, you know...
I mean, Indians can be pretty fucking racist. Like, that's not... There's a reason there's, like, Hindu supremacy and shit.
Hindu supremacy? I'm sorry, did that stop you from an island in the middle of fucking nowhere conquering you? There is
But
no superiority. There's only the
look,
god.
they have a god that's an elephant. Britain doesn't have a god that's an elephant, so
We don't really have a god. Like the
well,
majority
you
of
have the
England.
queen. The queen's not an elephant.
Yeah, but she
So
exists.
I would say checkmate there. What's the cricket equivalent of checkmate?
A wicket. I'm not sure.
Wicket.
I'm not. I'm not.
I
I'm
don't.
not a
I don't even
cricket
know what
person, but
cricket
I know
is.
India does like.
Yeah, I
compete
just
in-
know that like that the only two countries in the world that actually like what the fuck actually like cricket are India and the United Kingdom, and India likes it way more than the United
You know how
Kingdom.
like there's a lot of those massage shit in like India. It's like the Hitler massage. Brilliant for anyone unless you're undesirable.
Yeah. Yeah, Gandhi was a massive racist. He talked about. There was this thing I read about from his diary, I think it was, where he was in South Africa, and he just talks about how the black people there are subhumans. And there's like, oh yeah, we Indians don't want to be compared to the black people. And it's unfortunate that we have dark skin also. So sometimes we get confused with these subhuman monkeys. And it's like, this is a guy that's like, everyone thinks he's the perfect advocate for peace, and people in the West celebrate him.
The US, I'm British. It's like the amount of connotations between like an amalgamation of the British and Nazi Empire. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of somewhat backfiring when people are just like side with the Empire.
Wicked can mean anything, but some people who like it always understand the meaning. Okay, that's how you build a language. What the fuck, my man?
He did actually write a letter to Hitler just asking him not to start a bloody world war.
Well, that's nice. That redeems him, I
Probably
suppose.
because he knew all of India would be involved in that. Probably on the front line, because you know what we British are like.
That's that's a good ass movie. I love how just Hitler is Indian in this too. 9999. I want you to kill all the Jews. Fuck. This is already the most racist episode of this show that there is. No, but like, don't fuck with like Jewish martial arts, because Krav Maga will wreck your shit.
Well, it like the only martial arts that is actively used in combat, as opposed to all the others, which basically become show.
Yeah, and like that one's actually just like a military martial art. Well, that one and like commando sambo and shit.
Like Israeli fucking special forces is basically 100 ways to snap their neck.
I mean, it's the most advanced military in the world. It's very small, but they always have the latest shit.
Well,
they always have the new iPhone.
They always need to be on guard because literally everyone around them hates.
Yeah, it's like everyone around them just wants to kill them.
Try to do,
and also they can't like when you attack Russia. Russia can just go, yeah, let's just do like a couple 100,000 square kilometers of burned earth, right, salted earth, and then see them die in the winter. But just Israel is fertile as fuck. And they can't fall back any meter because they'll basically already be in the capital. It's such a small fucking country. Yeah. Gandhi to Hitler. It's a 2011 film. Dear Friend Hitler, released in India as Gandhi to Hitler, they released it as Dear Friend Hitler in other countries as a multilingual Indian drama film based on letters written by Mohandas Gandhi to the leader of the Nazi Party of Germany, Adolf Hitler, presumably. I would love to see like Bollywood cinema grow up out of the Bollywood phase and make like serious dramas. Because no, I like serious dramas, you know. and to get serious dramas from like other cultural perspectives.
I am sick and tired of Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want fucking Bollywood and Nollywood to actually just take over Hollywood, and then we just get to see like Nigerian guys in action films blowing up the jungle, and then Indian guys dancing. It's more entertaining because it's they say, oh fucking, it's all the same. The same is true about Hollywood, so I don't see where the big difference would be. Jesus fuck.
Take note, people. This is honestly, I think if you actually fused Hitler and Gandhi, you would get Civ.
Civ Gandhi is best Gandhi. Like, it's not even.
It's like peaceful, until he gets. Umayo mo shinderu.
No, but you have to say it with an Indian accent. It's Omaya wo shinderu. Actually, I don't think that was very good.
Fucking over editing with it.
Just cancel this.
Remember the argument that like this one editor like got in with that did like a Bollywood edit of this stupid drama. It's like 200 zooms in one moment.
Wait, do they zoom a lot? And I don't watch a lot of Bollywood.
PewDiePie basically took that and was basically shitting on the amount of edits that they do, and they like got really salty about it.
It's just this, like, this is the size of the entire. It's basically the size of the cultural sphere of, like, English-speaking people. Because English-speaking people, you can include, like, most of Europe. It's just a completely separate cultural sphere that's of exactly that same size. And it just has nothing to do with the West.
I think the Western world was awoken, or at least the side of the West that is like the youth generation has been awoken to the sheer power of India because T-Series passed PewDiePie.
Listen, they're going to be a superpower in 2020. That was the first step of their plan, is to surpass PewDiePie on YouTube.
Forgot to close the hatch and it ruined it.
And I'm gonna have to open this in the background and then
the things we do for love.
Watch shit at a later point so it doesn't get fucking fucked from the fuckity fuck. Yeah, all of you. No, listen, the French, they speak English. But they only speak English when you
they
make.
Know English.
No. It's just you have to make the slightest attempt at French, and then they speak English. No, well, actually, let's just run this video on stream now, innit?
The things we do for love.
I'm just gonna pretend that that's not even like fucking way hyperbolic, but like completely accurate. So
no, it really is accurate.
Okay. Yeah. So now the whole room smells of pizza, but I can't open my fucking window.
Congrats so much playing. It's like YouTube knows what I'm doing.
I can't open my window though, because then my neighbors would complain that I am so loud, and I'd be like, okay, I will be more quiet. Because that's my life now. This is I genuinely don't like this anymore, the Fast Food Thursday, because like now it used to be that I could just lean back and be quiet and everyone would just talk shit.
And I'm one of the few people that turns up regularly.
And now like I have to carry a significant part of the show in order for it to be even like vaguely entertaining.
It's like We can't criticize Indians. They just got electricity, as it were, like accessible to most people. It's like they found the editing software, and like when the Westerners invent a new theme, like everyone's going nuts about the fucking Thanos snap effect. It's like Jesus.
Oh, and everybody's going crazy about AI too, so. Though that will actually change the world.
Remember when CGI actually became really easy to use, and then George Lucas kind of just destroyed episode? Wow.
Oh yes, the fucking digital retouch of the original Star Wars trilogy. That's the most fucked up thing. That's a crime against humanity. Like, forget the Holocaust. George Lucas should be teleported back in time to the fucking Nuremberg trials. Yes, Cody,
sorry if I have
doing?
any echo. Sorry if I have any echo. I'm in my car.
No, it just sounds like you're speaking into like a ham radio, and also the end of your sentence cut off, so I have no idea where you are.
Inside of my vehicle, driving.
Oh, what kind of vehicle do you have?
It is a spaceship. No, it's actually a car. It's a, what the fuck is my car?
I'm actually sad you didn't go on with that and describe the spaceship.
I will just choose to believe that you have a spaceship.
I mean, maybe you can fly in space. Cars fly in space now, apparently.
Yeah, that's actually true. There is one, so, you know.
Is it electric, though?
Yes.
No, it uses gasoline.
Oh, then it won't work.
Damn.
Actually, a gasoline car would work better because it can expel, like, reaction mass and shit. Whereas...
But it needs CO2 to operate.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Technically, that Tesla that went into space is one of the biggest gas-guzzling cars ever to exist.
Yeah, that's true. That specific one is actually... there's a lot
Not
of
that
fuel.
model, just that specific car.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's to get it up there. But I'm pretty sure the system would still work.
Wait, isn't the Area 51 raid next month?
Wow, thank you for just pulling the rug underneath that joke I just told. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. That's autism for you.
If anyone has a spaceship, it's Florida, man. Yeah. It's to get to the part of Florida that's
beneath Florida.
What?
So my plan
Florida
is
men are like orcs in
saw
40K.
Florida
If they believe it happens, it'll
you
happen.
guys can keep Tallahassee. I don't want it. And then we're gonna attach rocket boosters to the bottom of Florida, and because we're a peninsula, we'll just fly away.
Yeah, no, you need the spaceship to get to the part of Florida that's in space, which many people don't know this, but is actually most of Florida. That's why all the weird shit happens. That's the aliens.
It's kind of like in Neuromancer, where there's a bunch of fucking Jamaicans who are on a space station. It's like that, but Floridian.
Wait, in Neuromancer, there's a bunch of Jamaicans who are on a space station?
Yeah, have you not read Neuromancer?
I don't remember reading that, so I suppose I haven't read that.
Freeside, there's a bunch of Jamaicans who live in space.
It's just the life support systems just smell of weed all the time.
I remember that.
Listen, marijuana has been outlawed here for 20 years.
It was really fucking jarring, because at one point they were in, like, Turkey, like, in Istanbul, and then they said they were going to Freeside, like, oh, are they going to Vegas? And no, they got in a fucking space shuttle and went to a Jamaican space...
That's pretty cool, though. What is this?
That was, like, I think in 2 chapters that happened.
Hey guys, I want to know why incest is morally wrong. Can you all give me arguments that support the claim that incest is morally wrong?
Yes.
Genetic failure is very high. Having double negatives means a likely bad trait. Yeah, essentially that.
But the thing is, he kept going on with the same question, thinking what I said isn't enough, and I was just like, this was like the 3rd time he was asking or something, and I just like put every reason down, and I was like, if that's not enough.
That motherfucker wants to fuck his cousin.
He was like, I don't want to do anything.
On one hand,
like
right, you have the genetic issue, right? And then the counter to that would be like, well, what if you just use protection and don't give birth? The counter to that would be if you have like a family unit, that is a bond that should not enter sexual relationships because it damages that bond. It's like having like a super close friend who then you fuck, and then now you're no longer friends. You're now just a person. You're just 2 people who fuck each other, and it's not good.
See, I can see. The thing
this-
is, I can
this one was
actually
your
do. I can
server.
actually. I have no problem with fucking close friends. So
Burger
from
fucks
that, I
his
like
sister,
from the
confirmed.
if you use protection, the incest is not morally wrong. That is actually true.
The guy, this fella in yours just refused to accept.
It's like weird as fuck, but it's. I don't see
guess.
how.
I mean, I don't. I would say that is like a family unit shouldn't be separated by fucking each other. Like that's not kosher. Like by that logic, it's okay to like butt fuck your brother. Like it's just gonna lead to a weird relationship, and it's gonna
Yeah,
end
but
horribly.
is it though? Right? I don't think it always has to. I think sometimes it doesn't. But it's probably a risk that you shouldn't take, because the risk of that
Why
becoming
you
a
gonna
weird
give your
relationship is
brother
high.
butt? You gonna give your brother butt babies with like?
No,
eyes or
because my
something,
brother
like
is, I
weird?
think, 4, and I'm not into guys. But yeah, and also I'm not into like my brother. But yeah, I don't know. If you remove the procreation aspect, I cannot honestly say that that incest is definitively wrong, like morally.
I just don't want people telling me what they're doing. Let's just face it.
Even though I do see that it's extremely weird and kind of disgusting.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you can find a thing disgusting and it still not be morally wrong. I think it's morally wrong for different reasons.
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess if you're both consenting adults and you're fucked up in the head enough that you want to have sex with your brother or something, and you're gay, so there's no chance of giving birth, I guess go for it. That's a bad idea.
I'm more likely to end up in prison killing my brother.
Have you ever heard of have had trouble getting hard after smoking weed, asking for a friend? No, I haven't. Is this the right time to sneak in a cheap Alabama joke, or should I go for Saarland instead? Ooh. Yeah.
Cornwall's not hit hard enough by these kind of jokes.
Saarland is the German Alabama, by the way.
Is it? Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
It's this a tiny province on the French border, I think it is. Yeah, where they're all
Well,
they
apparently
speak
all
weird,
of
too.
Germany says the N-word almost as much as Alabama does.
And in Alabama, it's both the black and the white people.
Yup.
No, people don't really say the N-word here much. It's just not a big deal. So there's no.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a different connotation there, right? I mean, you were talking about it in your video that, like, people will just sort of say the N-word referring to black people.
No,
as just
no, no,
black
no, no, no.
people.
That's something
Not-
that happens very rarely only. Usually you just say black people, Schwarze. You don't.
Okay.
If you say nigger, that's people will look at you weird. There are some people in Eastern Germany where that's just the word for black person. But usually,
so it's only just in some areas of Eastern Germany.
yeah. I mean, I said this
'Cause
explicitly in the video.
you showed that clip of that political like show.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something
no,
where
that
everyone
was-
saying the N-word like every 5 seconds.
That was when they were talking about the N-word.
Oh, so they just say it like just because they can. And
No,
not
when
the
it's
same
like
negative
when they talk about when you talk about a word, you're supposed to say it. That's the
Got it.
yeah. You can curse on German TV as much as you like. Nobody complains. And if you're gonna, if you like, you can't. It's like it's when I watch people on like CNN debate the N-word. It's like watching a bunch of just children because
It's
oh,
like
I
second
can't
graders
say
being
the
like,
word.
listen, the teacher says we can't say the F word or the A word or the C word.
But let's have an
fuck you,
academic
you nigger
discussion
I mean,
about
they
the
can't.
three.
Say, I mean, I don't think they can say fuck either. Like if
No.
like CNN would just drop like fuck on live television, they'd be hit with an FCC.
Remember when bastard was a really offensive word?
Oh, no, I don't actually remember that.
Oh, back in the day,
It used to just be a descriptive word to mean like you're a bastard.
that. King
Yes.
Shrek, the random whore, you bastard.
Honestly, that should have stopped being an insult once fucking William the Conqueror conquered all of England.
It's like the bastard, the conqueror. Ah, he's just an asshole.
It's honestly kind of, it's odd to think that the current Queen of England is related to ancient Vikings.
You're related to ancient Vikings. I'm related to ancient
No, I'm not.
Vikings.
I am definitely related to ancient
No,
Vikings.
what I
'cause
mean is
live in
she's
York.
related to Rollo the Walker. Like like an actual like Viking who went around and did things and actually has an established bloodline connect.
Yeah, but imagine if you're a Viking and then your name is Rollo. Rollo sounds like it's some fucking candy bar. Not Rollo the
It's
Terrible.
his anglicized name.
Rollo reminds me of a fucking character from
It's
Code
what the name he
Geass.
got. It's the name that he changed his name to Rollo, I think, after he was gifted Normandy. After he
Rollo sounds
the
like
shit
a
out of the French.
furniture store chain. That's what Rollo sounds
I
like.
think his name was originally like Rolf or something
Rollo
like that.
sounds like a closet homo.
Is an N-word pass granted by an Indian valet asking for a friend? I don't think it is. But again, you don't need an N-word pass to say the N-word in Germany, so you're fine. I wouldn't actually... I've actually given this position a lot of thought. And if I was in, like, America or even Britain, I wouldn't actually say the N-word. Unless a black
don't
person
do
told
that
me
here.
to.
You will be hit by somebody probably. Or
Well,
at
I mean,
least
if
someone will
Samuel
yell at
L.
you.
Jackson tells me that I have to say it, I obviously will, because I don't have like a...
he points a gun at you and tells you to say the N-word. Like, yeah, I guess at that point you do. Just don't say what.
I don't know. I'm not afraid of Samuel L. Jackson. Just do a twist. Just do a fucking lightsaber.
Listen.
twisting
Say
spiral
the
sword.
N-word
I don't care if
again!
fucking Betty White. I don't care if fucking Betty White has a gun. She fucking has a gun. It's a gun. It will kill you.
It's probably because the Russian word...
I was talking
nigger-
to other people the other day, and I was telling them a story about how when I worked security, I was threatened to be stabbed by somebody.
With a gun.
And they're like, "Oh, well, you're a big guy, so you're fine." I'm like, "Motherfucker, it's a knife. It would go into my fucking organs and rupture them, and it would cut me. Like just because I'm 6'6" doesn't mean that suddenly my skin is made out of fucking like stone."
No, you have more hit points, is the thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Listen, body size corresponds with hit points. Except for
That is
dwarves.
true. It does.
It's right because the Russian word neger is a normal word for black person in the GDR and USSR Eastern Bloc states. That's actually, I didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense. Mace Windu is such a fucking badass, genuinely.
What?
He's the...
I thought the N-word came from the term niggardly, like that. Like
No, that
it
is a
was
completely different etymology that has nothing to do with
it?
the
Okay.
N-word. Yes. You can
Got it.
you can
Well, that's
say
just-
niggardly all you want, it has nothing to do with the N-word.
Listen, you can, right? But people who are not familiar with the etymology of archaic words are probably going to look at you weird.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a friend, right?
I know, wait a
And,
second. Yes, go ahead, though.
Well, I got a friend, right? And he does that shit all the time where he'll, like, say shit that sounds like it's an offensive word in public. And he doesn't understand why he can't do that because it's drawing attention to him. Like, he says rape in public, just randomly. And if you question him on it, he's like, "Oh, I'm talking about rape seeds." I'm like, "Motherfucker."
Oh, I've
It's-
just had a brilliant
He
idea.
fucking knows, my
Imagine
man.
you go
Of
into the
course he
market,
fucking
right, and you
knows.
just start shouting, "Get your rape seed oil!"
Exactly.
It's a good marketing tactic.
You get
And,
like
you know,
a
like
bag
shit
of
like
it,
that,
and
like
just
if you
start
make that
yelling.
little pun or something like that, like once or twice, it's kind of funny. But he does it like all the goddamn time.
No,
Like
then
we'll
he'll
just be
just
sitting down playing D&D.
The
and he'll
thing
just
is,
say
people
rape.
remember dumb shit like that, and then they just remember, oh, it's that idiot.
Yeah.
And then he actually gets raped by a black man.
If
Oh,
you're a
that's-
YouTuber or
oh,
streamer and
okay.
love Discord, apply for the partner program. I actually have been told that this is a thing, But apparently I would have to stop saying the N-word if I apply to the Discord partner program, and I don't get to have, like, edgy and offensive channels anymore. And I don't really gain anything from this. Like, this... I want this Discord server to just be a place where people can hang out. I'm not actually invested in it.
Yeah.
If it disappeared tomorrow, I would be moderately sad.
I
I get that. I mean, I'd be sad because I'm not going to talk to you anymore, but, like, other than that, like...
No, the nation Niger is named for the Niger River. The father of one of my friends called a black person a nigger and didn't understand why my friend wanted him to stop and replied, "Wie soll ich die sonst nennen? Asiaten?" So, like, what else am I supposed to call them? Asians? I love a lot of people in, like, Eastern Germany call Asian people Kiwis, which is the weirdest shit. Yeah.
Well, Kiwi would refer to New Zealander.
Yeah, and also the fruit, and it's like, what are you talking about?
My dad was really confused why he can't say Oriental anymore when referring to Asian people. Like,
What?
generally, like, genuinely just confused why that's not okay anymore.
Wait, no, you can't?
No, it's Oriental describes, like, a rug or a pot, not a person.
I feel like the only people you maybe should be able to describe as Orientals are Middle Eastern people, not like Tatars, Kazakhs, and East Asians, Southeast Asians and stuff, or South Asians, really.
I mean, I've never used the term myself. I've heard the term, and I'm just
yeah,
like,
because no one used the term.
racist.
No one's used the fucking term since 1846.
Well, it's better. It's better than calling them a slope.
Wait, what?
What?
That's the word that Clarkson got in trouble for by saying when they did the bridge of a River Kwai, and it's like, oh, it's great, but it does have a slope on it, and someone was walking across, you know, a native.
I
don't
have
understand.
never even heard that.
Neither did I until the BBC.
Is that like a
released it.
local bad word in some part of Asia?
No, it's a bad word in England because it's referred to like fucking Asians. You know,
It is?
because of the eyes. Slope.
Chink is what's used, like, in America, I think, or, like, gook or something like that.
I
think
understand
gook
maybe
specifically
slant, right? But slope? That's a landform.
Yeah, I've never heard that before in my life.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's Jeremy
that's what it's
Clarkson.
Anyone that disagrees that interdictor is no bad ship is just wrong.
That fucking Star Destroyer's got fucking big old titties, isn't it?
Gravity wells stops them running away. I think we're running out of shit, racist shit to say now.
Ah,
Are we?
yes. We need to get Jeremy Clarkson on the show.
We haven't made fun of the Mexicans yet, though.
I love that, like, Jeremy Clarkson is... I actually sometimes... I watch, like, clips of him, and it just astounds me how racist he gets to be. And it's not, like, even... It's not even he does it ironically to, like, make fun of things. He just doesn't know that it's a bad thing.
He just doesn't care.
He just doesn't understand that. He just does not understand how fucking racist the shit he says is. And he probably isn't even being malicious with it. He probably doesn't actually, like, believe that Asians are inferior to white people. It's like...
what I think's funny is, like, everyone's like, oh, I know people voting to leave the European Union are racist. It's like, Jeremy Clarkson's pro-EU.
Yeah!
And you all call him a racist.
Listen, there are people who are racist who want to leave the EU because they are racist. There is also people who want to stay in the EU.
Well, to be
happen
fair,
to be
to be
racist.
brutally honest, I should be included in one of them. I don't want to be part of the same nation as France.
That's a fair point.
Fuck, you've just turned me against the EU. No, who was it? Daryl Davis with Trump. He said, Trump isn't a racist, and not all people who voted for Trump are racist, but all of the racists voted for Trump.
That's probably true. I'm sure there's also racists who didn't vote for Trump because you can be racist and also disagree with economic policy.
He wasn't racist enough.
Yeah, I mean, true. Listen,
racist.
I'm actually at this point willing to say that Trump is probably racist.
He's
I was-
racist
I-
in the dumb way, and like he just doesn't
After-
understand that
No, after the go back to your country thing to a bunch of people who were from America, that man is racist.
I think that is the dumbest thing he's ever said. That is genuine. I
mean, he also recently wanted to buy Greenland, so are you sure about that?
Yeah, but
No,
the
that's
US
not
has been
dumb.
trying to get Greenland for a while. That's not a new thing. His outrage is fucking great about that.
Yeah.
Just Denmark says no. It's how dare you? But like, but
They didn't just say no. They said no. It's a sovereign nation. You can't just fucking buy it.
But just the goal of just telling 4 elected representatives of the United States legislature that citizens of the United States, which you are a president of, voted for. They have a charter from the Constitution and shit to tell them to go back to their country when most of them are fucking Americans that were born here. That's just...
I don't think Trump knew that Puerto Rico was part of America, though.
I don't think.
whenever,
No, I genuinely
Hurricane
think that he
Maria
doesn't.
Happened,
I genuinely think
I
he
think
still
he
doesn't
forgot.
know. I genuinely
Really? Like,
believe he
even after
still
he was
does
told,
not
like,
know.
You're the president of Puerto Rico. You have to fix this.
I genuinely believe that he still doesn't know that. Because he just seemed to. It was like all of his actions indicated to him not understanding why people were pissed off that he didn't give foreign aid to Puerto Rico. Because it wasn't fucking foreign aid. It was...
Yeah.
This is also... I had this discussion with some people on the Discord server where they were like, oh yeah, fuck Puerto Rico. It's like these people are American citizens. You're just going fuck American citizens.
Yeah, if America doesn't want Puerto Rico, Britain will take it.
It's like
No,
it's like if you
ours.
say
We only have so many colonies left.
it's like
you were lost all
people say
yours,
fuck
okay?
Florida, right? It's not. I mean, people do say that.
Yeah.
But like, if there's a hurricane in Florida and Florida gets, nobody goes, "Oh, we're not going to send them
There's a
relief."
hurricane in Florida every year, at least two a year.
Yeah, and like they're the same level of citizen, except that people in Puerto Rico can't vote for the president. That's
That's
the
true.
difference.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Right there is they aren't a constituency to them because they can't vote. They aren't a voting bloc, so no one has to give a shit about them. Like the Democrats kind of care about them because they count as points in the primaries, but they don't count in.
I mean, that's why the Democrats want the Puerto Rico to become a state. So because then there would
Yeah, I mean,
never
I
be
want to become a
Republicans
state
again.
because it basically is one at this point.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just one of my favorite fucking things how Donald Trump doesn't understand that Puerto Rico is in fact in the United States. It is the United States. That is what Puerto Rico is.
Imagine if he learned that Guam was a part of the United States.
Did you see that thing where, I think it was about Guam, where the one politician was worried that it would tip over if they put the military base?
Oh my god, yeah.
And he
was
later
afraid
said-
that because the population was growing so much that the island would tip over.
No, and he recently apparently said that he meant that figuratively.
I mean, how do you figure
It's like,
He
what
bullshit.
the fuck?
He did not.
How do you mean that figuratively?
Someone told him how islands work, and he had to retract his fucking statement. That's what happened. Because that motherfucker was straight up just saying that it would tip over. That, like, honestly, of all the dumb things I've heard said in Congress, that's gotta be one of them.
Just the reaction from, like, the actual side. He just doesn't understand that an adult person who is an elected official could just not know how islands work. It's just the most fucked up things.
That, and I think when that one representative threw a snowball in the middle of Congress to like disprove global warming. Those are probably the two dumbest things I've seen.
Oh yeah, the one guy said there's not global warming can't be a thing because God promised that there wouldn't be another flood, and he was on like some science committee. It's just fucking hell.
Goddamn.
Just stupid
Well, science
ass
disproves the
motherfuckers.
flood even happening.
Yeah.
Archaeology disproves that the flood happened.
The fucking laws of physics prove that the flood didn't goddamn happen.
Like when they talk about the flood, I'm like, how far are you going back? I mean, the Earth at one point was
6,000 years, liberal.
Yeah.
6,000 years, liberal.
Liberal. Okay. Liberal.
Earth 6,000 years old, liberal. Don't try and say no. It's no 4 fucking cajillion like you scientists always.
Cajillion isn't a number.
Fuck you. Don't tell me what is and ain't a number, alright?
Who did the countdown theme? I'm just...
The only countdown that I watch is fucking 8 out of 10 Cats does countdown. Because the others are
Hey,
just...
I'm gonna switch from phone to computer, so I'll be off and back on in just a second.
Yeah, my man.
Alan Hankshaw.
Because why am I gonna watch fucking countdown if it doesn't have Joe Wilkinson in it? That's my question.
Oh, great, YouTube. It's about time. It's like YouTube, the Kriegberg is live.
Every city near a coast had some kind of flood in ancient times. It was like living near water makes flood more likely to occur. So
Oh, Lord. God. Oof, unheard of.
It was Jesus.
The baby Jesus.
God damn, it just smells disgusting here.
I swear that some of the commentaries on like stuff about Star Wars is quite funny, especially that 2D Clone Wars compared to like 3D. It's like the guys who did all Grievous shit were like, well, when he was describing him to us, he hadn't fully decided, but the way he went about it was like he was this legendary warrior known for slaying Jedi, and it's like, and it wasn't until like after the film we realized, oh, he went like twiddly mustache evil, always running away. So like, there's always this argument as like the fact that 3D Grievous is just shit compared to like the 2D one.
Fuck. What the
Imagine
fuck?
inventing like a IP that's like you inspire people to do a lot of shit because it's like very its tone is it gives off some, like, especially with episode 5, you know, the one that he didn't do, gives off like an air of like more of a reality feel to it, of like consequences, and the guys don't always win, and then it's just like everything after that is just like teddy bears beating shit out of evil guys.
Hello?
I have no idea about any of what you just said, but I agree.
I missed it. What's up?
They just said in the news that Donald Trump is dead.
No, they didn't.
Fuck. I almost had you.
Listen, I'm not like all these people who think that beaches are real, okay? I know when you're trolling.
That's true.
I just saw the headline of that video, and I was just like, yeah, okay then.
What's the international trends currently on Twitter? Gururumustun Trabzonspor. I know that's a football team. There's something in Arabic. Hashtag Lovers Lounge. Hashtags Liverpool UDA Jeneritz Bordomavi. So apparently there's something going on in Turkey. You are officially old if KHK La Social Kiyidmir. Okay. There's a lot of shit going on in fucking Turkey. Come to Beşiktaş. Müslümanis örgüt decilis. Okay, what the fuck is happening? What's the
things in foreign languages that we don't understand?
What's the trends in the United States? United Arab Emirates.
That's the only important thing.
That's the United Kingdom, actually.
Oh.
Let's go to the United States. United States.
The US is formally pulling from Turkey's Patriot missile system offer, and
Lovers Lounge, officially old. Thursday thoughts. That's some. Here's my Thursday thoughts. Is it really gay if you say no homo? Hashtag Ask Charlie. Black women's equal pay.
Oh yeah, I saw that. So Sanders was posting a thing that was, I don't know if it was just him, but basically he posted a thing that was just like, black women don't make 61 cents for every dollar a white man makes. I'm just like, oh, damn it, Bernie.
It's true, but the systemic problem is not that.
Yeah, they don't actually go into the policies they want to implement for this. They just want to say it because it's a thing to say. And if you say you're not against that, if you say you're not against that thing, then you are a sexist and a racist and a big meanie poo-poo head.
It's one of those unfortunate things where if you bring up nuance, people will hate you. And that's just generally a bad place to be. What I always say is, like,
if you want to actually talk about, like, hiring practices and discrimination in the workplace and things like that, I'm all for it, but you are using a false statistic. It doesn't mean what you think it means. It's
apparently
actually like
the #1 trending search in Google is Taylor Swift.
Nice.
Cool.
You know, the Aryan goddess.
What?
Apparently, at one point, they called Taylor Swift the Aryan goddess. Or
Who is they?
think it's
The
4chan.
Jews, obviously.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, are the Jews?
It's a very 4chan thing.
Is this a triple brackets day?
Oh, fuck.
Don't die.
Oh, no, some people won't.
So yeah, Burger, when can we expect a review of Gandhi to Hitler?
When hell freezes over, I think that's the approximate time where I will be reviewing that film.
Really? You don't want to watch it?
Might be a little after. No, I'm not going to watch
I
it.
have talked.
I have difficulty watching films anyway. They're always too long. I binge watch like 6 hours of shows, but I feel like I haven't spent as much time on them as on like 190.
We watched Anarchist film. We watched Anarchist film that one time. Well, it was his film, right? Anarcho-fascists. The thing with the black guy who was a psychopath.
That was not Anfascist. That was Caleb's film, but that wasn't a film. That was like a short film. It was 20 minutes long or some shit. Not even.
Well, it was longer because we kept pausing it to ask what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. But I mean, that's, not unsurprising, I would argue.
Yeah. No, personally, I like watching really bad films with friends while I get drunk. It's a good experience.
Yeah, but I would be watching it alone.
What rumor is not created by fucking 4chan these days?
Most.
I'm eagerly anticipating people to
Trust me, for the amount of things that 4chan does where they're just like, let's where they actually like successfully say like, let's start this rumor or let's start this like thing. Like, there's about 100 other posts of someone trying the same thing and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's a collective.
Like the pissing for feminism thing that happened a while back.
I wanted that to go viral.
It was too dumb. It wouldn't have made it.
That you say that, but we live in a world where Donald Trump is the president, so I don't think there's a too
fair
dumb
point.
anymore.
Fair
That
point.
ceiling has
actually
been
think
shattered.
If the Democrats get their act together, they could they've got a better chance now because he's been the president and the joke's gone. Honestly, it's past. Nobody cares anymore.
The thing about the about like 4chan starting like the hate symbols thing, that was basically it's so dumb because you just have
Drinking milk is fascist.
yeah. Okay, here's the thing though, right? Someone says that, maybe one or two like super like like Salon or like some feminist magazine picks it up or something like that. No one gives a shit about it, and then fascists actually start doing it, both ironically, and then as we know, when you start doing something ironically long enough, you're just doing that thing. So now just white supremacists actually unironically use the OK sign as like I'm a white supremacist.
Yeah, but that's because the leftist media made it that way.
To be
I
fair,
didn't see anyone talking about that until like it was already like an established like thing. I mean, you had
but that's the point at which the Nazis start to care about it. Like actually, it just is given to them.
when people when the thing is, it's like this weird left and right actually make things like something by them both interacting with it in a way that either one or the other dislikes. Like if neither give a shit, no one would care.
I don't know. I just want to grill.
You just want to grill.
No, but like lately, it's like so often I just don't want to fucking do politics anymore. It's just so exhausting.
Well,
I get that.
Everyone is dumb.
hide behind the Kaiser and reinstall him.
Like everyone's just dumb. You can't be nuanced even for a second. Because people will never give you the benefit of the doubt. Anytime you give someone the benefit of the doubt, it just turns out you were wrong to do so.
Yep.
And it's just such a fucking toxic environment. I just want to listen to.
Sometimes in the ancient period, or even in modern world, it literally is toxic. Just ask the guy that was poisoned by Putin.
I just want to like play tabletop games and Starbound and listen
I
to
just want to grill for God's sake.
ironically racist podcasts, and that's basically it.
Boomer Burger is unironically a boomer meme now.
No, I mean I've never been into like current news politics. I always do like big boy.
You know what I find funny?
You do big think thoughts.
Yeah,
You know what I find funny? You know how like Game of Thrones is really big, and then obviously you get those parents that name
And it
their
was shit
children
then.
like fucking
Daenerys.
and it's just like yes, that's gonna backfire.
Wait, what?
I don't see why that would backfire. Honestly, I think that's pretty cool. It
Wait, what happened?
legitimizes the culture and shit. I would fucking love if I had been named Gimli or some shit.
Be named Gimli.
I love
Well,
how
your
my name is
your
literally the name of every
so-
mass murderer. There's so many like Brady's that come out as some murder psycho.
Is that what the Brady Bunch was about? I never saw it.
God damn. Why am I suddenly so tired? Is it because I ate an entire pizza? Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe that's the reason why. Could be. I don't know. Who does?
Well,
What's
the world
trending?
will never know.
What's trending in Germany?
German stuff.
What the fuck is Lovers Lounge, and why is it trending here also?
It sounds like a TV show,
It probably is.
or a BDSM club. You know, one of the two things. Okay, one of those two things.
It's a great name.
God damn.
Find the other one.
The fuck is this? In case you were wondering, there's a socialist version of Monopoly. Monopoly, socialism, winning is for capitalists. This sounds like cancer.
Kermit, that is not me.
It sounds like a cool and ironic thing.
Brady is my first name. People aren't crazy enough to have it as a first name. See, I have the mentality. I've
You
said
just
this
doxed
even
yourself on live stream. Just want to point that out.
Got him.
What?
Listen, it's only doxing if people watch it.
That's true,
Yeah.
yeah. So you didn't really dox yourself.
Yeah, man, I'm being Brady. Search me out. I'll rape your kids.
What the fuck?
Oh, holy
Pause,
shit! I need some cocaine or something. There's also a Monopoly for millennials, but I don't know what the rule twist is on that. They just can't.
Oh, I think I heard about that. It's stuff like the rent is like super fucking high, and you don't get paid much money.
Monopoly is actually like a very good example of how like unfettered capitalism is just bad.
It's true. Like one guy gets all of the property in
That's the thing,
town, charges the rates up super high, and then everyone goes
The
broke.
person who made Monopoly made it to basically say no, capitalism is bad, and then they got rich from it.
I don't like Monopoly. It's not a well-designed game.
Oh, it's
Neither is capitalism.
It's horrible.
That's true, but capitalism wasn't designed to be fun. But like
They're not supposed to
Monopoly,
be fair, liberal.
Monopoly is
by
like
default is brutal, and it will murder you if it has a chance if you're in the way.
with Monopoly, you can like make out who's gonna win fairly early on in the game.
Whoever's
but
starts getting like houses and hotels and shit first.
Takes a long time to eliminate people. It's based mostly on luck. And like people get eliminated early on, and then they just can't do anything.
In like a German philosophy on games, that if it revolves around eliminating people, it's not a good game.
That's part of the German
English
board
games
game.
be like, die, motherfucker.
Chariot Rider could give you like years about that in terms of talking about it. He did the guest video on my channel like over a year ago. No, a little less than a year ago.
When did Brady
Actually,
die?
I would disagree with this.
Tell me, when did I die?
That eliminates people that's really good, and that's Secret Hitler. Because that game is fucking amazing.
Apparently, I died in 15th of May, 2017.
I'm sorry, rip.
No, you can have good games that eliminate people if they get eliminated in a round and then the next round starts and they're back in the game again, so that they don't spend too much time outside of the game.
You guys ever play Secret Hitler?
I've played like open Hitler who openly goes around and is racist, and the twist is that person is me actually.
Oh, okay. No, Secret Hitler is a really fun game. It's,
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's basically everyone's given cards at the start of the game that list them as either a liberal or a fascist, and one person is Hitler. The fascists all know who all the other fascists are, and they know who Hitler is, but Hitler doesn't know who the other fascists are, and the liberals don't know anything. So then it goes around, and everyone elects a president, and then that president gets to choose a chancellor, and then the president will draw like I think they draw 3 cards from a pile of deck, and they either have a liberal policy or a fascist policy. They discard one without telling anyone what they discarded, hand it to the chancellor, and the chancellor has to pick between those two what he implements. And so it's a game to figure out who is the fascist and who is Hitler. And there's other rules there, like things like when more fascist policies are involved, you can start having like illegal searches of people's cards, and you can start assassinating people.
So it's basically the game version of the Night of the Long Knives.
It's the game version of the Weimar Republic.
But can you act? No, look. Does it have just gay sex and in just complete degeneration?
I mean, you can implement that if you want.
And a vibrant arts culture. Because if it doesn't, it's not really the Weimar Republic, is it? I was in Weimar a couple of years ago, by which I mean like many years ago. And it's a pretty cool city actually. Well, it's not really. It's more of a town than a city, but it's pretty cool down there. They have a very good crepes shop and some good bars. Yeah, it's just something I wanted to talk about for a moment. It's fine that like we've just stopped talking now.
I'm
Just
eating a thing.
sitting awkwardly in this. Most people don't play by Monopoly rules very often. But why would you have Monopoly
for
then?
some reason, I kept trying when I was young to keep winning at Monopoly, and I'd always fucking lose.
Because you're a loser.
Yeah,
when
I played it like 3 times, and then I realized that the game is just boring.
Yeah, it is.
I basically ended up becoming really fucking brutal through it.
And the thing is,
And
the
no
way
one
you can
wanted
be
to
good at
play with me,
Monopoly,
and it was
the way
like,
you can be
I
good at Monopoly
always
is doing
wondered why, and
trade.
now I do know why. It's because capitalism is fucking awful.
The way you can win at Monopoly with skill is that you trade with your friends. Like, I want this property for this property and this property for this property, and you trade up. Like, that's how you do skill in Monopoly. The issue is everyone knows that,
Yeah.
so no one actually will accept any trades because they know that if someone's proposing a trade, it's because they're going to like try and get the upper hand on you. So it's just people just hoarding money and property.
Color has won the game. Because once you're big enough, you can buy out all other shit.
Uh-huh.
Fuck. Oh, Jesus. God damn, I'm tired as shit.
It's like,
you know what game sucks?
The last time I played Monopoly, right, I actually managed to get both blues in like the first go, and it's like everyone just quit.
Yeah, as you would. Yeah, I know which game.
So, Monopoly sucks, right?
Yes.
Because capitalism is unfair.
Also because it's
game-
poorly designed, but yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, the game of life sucks because life is generally unfair and poorly designed.
I actually used to play the game of life a lot.
That is a 100% luck-based game. As you spin a thing, you land on a space,
Yeah.
and you have a thing happen to you.
Yeah, that's 100%
Just like life.
based. Yeah.
Are we on about an actual board game or reality?
There's a board game called The Game of Life. It's a pretty like classic board game.
I had a computer version of it.
I was thinking just roll dice. Oh, you did now.
It's you don't have dice. You have like a spinner.
I fucking hate spinners. I've
Yeah.
always hated spinners.
You have like options that you can choose from, which it makes no difference which one you choose, like which house you get. Like it's all mechanically identical. You have a different house. And that's all that happens. It's 100% luck. And at the end you just die. That's the best part.
Yeah. Shoots and Ladders also sucks. That's a bad game also. I'm pretty sure you could have 2 AIs just play Shoots and Ladders and it would be like pretty much the same as if a player was playing it.
Yeah, they would just go random because fuck that. Catan is the OG of tabletop games. Yeah, I was ambushed by Catan. I hadn't played Catan in like probably 10 years.
I've played it once. It was fine. I like Munchkin better. Munchkin's a really good game.
I fucking hate Munchkin. I don't like it. No,
You don't like Munchkin?
I don't even know why I don't like it.
Is it the math? Do you not like math?
I can't make even simple calculations in my head.
That'd be why then, because it's like, oh, I have like this bonus and this bonus and this bonus.
But I remember playing Munchkin.
It's the equivalent of being a Munchkin in D&D.
I remember playing Munchkin when I was a kid, like when I was a teenager, and for some reason, I don't even remember what it's like, but I know that I don't like it, and it just gives me the... So there's just something about that game, when I look at it, it just sort of gives me the creeps.
Do you not like Munchkins in real life, in like D&D?
I don't even know what the fuck they are in D&D, but no, it's like the art style.
A Munchkin is a term for someone who is like a power gamer, who like their character is made to just.
Oh,
like,
I really hate
be
those
mechanically
kinds of
strong.
people. Yeah, I really.
And they're like,
fucking hate
and because of that, they're like fucking ridiculous. Like they're like, you know, my character is a half drow elf, dwarf, part dragon undead who's from a very obscure place, so I could get this set of feats. That would be a Munchkin. They're a person who just like fucking just makes the worst fucking like random ass character just for mechanical advantages.
I actually
What D&D?
the worst ones of those is like the ones that pretend not to be a Munchkin. It's like no, this all makes sense. This is just good. No, I have a character that I want to play in D&D, and it's like a half tiefling, half loxodon barbarian, so a loxodon tiefling.
I don't even know what a loxodon is. It's
like elephant people.
Elephant people. Okay.
Like elephant people tiefling, who's a barbarian, but with a homebrew archetype from the wiki that gives him like warlock spells.
Okay.
That actually is a very like fucked up and interesting.
There's in Pathfinder, there's a class that's specifically like that. It's called a Blood Rager, which is a half breed between like a barbarian and a sorcerer. So they have like this like they have like blood magic like sorcerer does, where they have like an arcane past. Either their great grandma got freaky with a dragon or some shit, but they use that power to like enhance themselves and increase their rage. So like they'll fucking rage and like grow like horns if they're abyssal and claws and shit.
Yeah, and I'm still debating if I want to play that character in like a I don't know, like sort of Indian-like setting where I get to have like powerful war paint, like colorful war paint on the thing. But I think it would also work very well in like an Arctic tundra setting where he's just a mammoth, and he's just a mammoth man with glowing red eyes and just magical glowing runes in the fucking tusks and blood dripping.
Is your weakness Kalashnikovs?
No, I will eat the bullets with my trunk.
I'm pretty sure.
He is a barbarian. He does have a lot of hit points, and as we've determined, he's even taller, so therefore more hit points.
Yeah, I'm a fucking. I think they're size medium though. They just get the thing where they can carry more.
I see. So shame about Shadowrun, huh?
What do you mean?
6th edition, existing.
Don't play it.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not going to either.
Well, the issue about a new edition coming out that's bad is you're going to end up... You first of all, you stop getting content from the last edition.
That's like true, yeah. They just try to
stop getting content from the last edition. Erratas and things like that are going to be less common for the last edition.
Well, but honestly, let's be honest...
Organized play is going to be harder to find for the last edition.
Catalyst Game Labs didn't put out errata proper ones anyway, so... I don't think that
they
would
had
make
some
much of a difference.
For example, they changed the rule to that says that you can store assault cannons in your assless chaps. You cannot hide assault cannons in your assless chaps. That was a fun typo that existed for a while.
Nice. No, fucking I know very few people who I will actually be playing the 6th edition. So
yeah. I considered it, but once I actually read through it, I was like, "Oh, this is just unplayable."
It's just as bad as the 5th one, just in different ways. And I don't see why I should learn a different system if I don't even properly understand the last one.
I mean, it's worse. Everything that was bad about about 5th edition, 6th edition does it worse. And the things that they try and do better from 5th, where it's like it's too complicated, they just make it complicated in different ways.
Complexity does not equal bad, and it also does.
No, it doesn't. I love 5th edition Shadowrun. It's one of my favorite games, and it's by far one of the most complex RPGs I've played. And it's still good. It's just 6th edition was like, let's too complicated. Let's remove some of the rules, but let's also not balance it after we remove those rules.
Oh, look, Chariot Rider is here to say that he dislikes Munchkin. So that's basically the ultimate expert opinion. We were just talking about you, Chariot Rider, when we talked about Monopoly and German board games. Yeah, no. I started playing a German pen and paper game. Not the Dark Eye, but Splittermond, which is Splinter Moon, I suppose. Which is like a high fantasy thing. And I made a character that's basically a lawyer. And so now what I'm actually playing,
Objection! Dun, dun,
what I'm
dun,
yeah
dun.
exactly what I'm actually playing is Ace Attorney, but in a fantasy setting.
That's
And
cool.
Oh,
I had-
I've tried doing things like
Capcom?
legal cases in like D&D before, and it's usually just like not the best thing.
It's-
Like I feel like everyone gets
I've
really
just got
mad.
the fucking what you call it, Monty Python in my head. And it's like, she's a witch. Have you proved
Yeah.
that?
it's difficult to it's like I love legal shit. I love legal documents and court cases and precedent and it's like systems of bureaucracy. That's just fascinating to me. But to most people, that shit is boring. And so that's one of the problems why it's difficult to run like a good legal case adventure in like an RPG, in like D&D and shit.
I could see it in the sense of like the players are trying to like prove the innocence of somebody.
Yeah,
like
or,
that would
or the
make sense.
guilt. Yeah.
Or the guilt, yeah. Because I've actually had that. There was an adventure I ran. I think it was the second book of the Carrion Crown adventure for Pathfinder, where there is a flesh golem who's intelligent, who's on trial, and they think that he killed like a little girl, and you get told by somebody like, I don't think he did it. I want you guys to go like be his defense.
Yeah, I had this. My character is not just like an attorney, but he's like a court of free magister. So he's basically like a diplomat, a lawyer, and a private investigator. And like most of the money that he makes is he goes around small towns and he gets hired to settle disputes between different parties. But yeah, like
So
all
a
the
Jedi.
diplomat and private investigator shit is so that he can actually be useful to a party. But we had this thing. We were fighting with like rat folk, and it was like a stalemate battle because the GM was rolling really well, and I managed to sort of broker, we're gonna both of the groups here are gonna disengage now. And we're gonna go our separate ways. And then the rat folk shaman gave me like an amulet as like a sign of our agreement. And I knew exactly, and my character knew exactly, because he's very good at judging people, that this thing was like a tracking amulet that he would use to find us later. But of course I have like this code of honor as like an attorney that this is a legal document and I have to keep it. But I did manage to convince like a bridge troll to let us pass on credit.
On credit?
Yeah, we can't pay you now because we don't have the money. But if you let us pass, I'll give you a check for the money, and then you can cash it
wrote him
in.
a fucking check.
Yeah, I wrote him a check. Yeah.
I like the idea of a troll just walking up to a fucking like bank because like, hey, I would like to cash this check.
I actually did like make good on it. I had someone from the town give him the money, bring him the
That's
cash. Good. So yeah, he didn't want cash. He wanted like a specific thing, a specific alchemical ingredient that he was addicted to. But we didn't have it on us, so we would have had to go like 3 days back into town.
I see.
And so that's why I gave him the check. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that you can do when you play an attorney.
Yeah. I had a character in my group once play an attorney. He had like the concept of his character was basically he wanted to play Captain Falcon if he was a lawyer.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so he was like, I think he was like a monk of the Four Winds from like Pathfinder or something like that. So he like would do like, you know, falcon punches that were just like he would punch someone and it would be on fire. And he talked to like the Captain Falcon like, come on, you know, type of like demeanor. But he like played his character almost like Ace Attorney. Like he was like
objection.
Yeah, exactly.
Objection.
Exactly.
Nice.
It was a pretty funny character, but that was also one of the times I was like, I don't like having legal stuff in my games usually.
Yeah, you have to. It's one of those many character concepts where,
One of the issues is I'm not a lawyer, but 2 players are. So
it's one of those character types where you have to be really careful that it doesn't get annoying, because it can just really easily get annoying.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, you run 3 characters. One of his judge, one of his jury, and the other's the executioner.
Actually, I made a character also in that same system. It's like a light and shadow magic guy, and he has like OCD. He's like obsessed with balance. And so I'm gonna have to see how to properly play out the OCD in the campaign.
If you see like 2 candles lit, you have to
what
like.
you do is you be a samurai that's schizophrenic and is obsessed with his mother.
That's oddly specific.
So,
I think someone in my group's played that in Shadowrun. He was a street samurai. That's not the same thing though.
Well, I mean, it's like a discount samurai. It's like a weeaboo, really.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, street samurai aren't always like Japanese. Like they're all like it's just a term. That
Most
means
of them are
guy
not
who
Japanese,
has spent way too much money on cyberware.
Yeah, but usually it's also like the code of honor shit.
That's a specific like negative quality you take, and that wasn't even something that you could take until I think.
No, it's like no, but like there's not really any classes in Shadowrun, but like in the society of Shadowrun, the people that you consider street samurai, they have like a code of honor, and they usually carry a katana. Otherwise, they're just a guy with guns or a guy with a sword. It's like a cultural thing. But they're not Japanese.
Not always. Like a street samurai is just a guy who is like the muscle. Like he is a person who
No, but
that's
that's mechanically. That's maybe it says so in the character archetypes. But culturally, it's usually they have a code of honor. Otherwise, they're just like a muscle. You would just call them muscle, like tactically.
Hold on. I'm pulling up Street Samurai in the 5th edition book.
Yeah, but is it the class, right?
Well, yeah, that's what we're referring to. Like that's
no,
what
I'm referring to the term Street Samurai within the in-universe culture of Shadowrun.
Yeah, that's what it means. There aren't actual classes. It's just like, hold on.
Yeah, I know that Shadowrun doesn't have actual classes, which is why the definition of Street Samurai is ultimately like not clearly bounded. But you know, if you want people to call you a Street Samurai, you better have some level of code of honor or something to that
I'm pretty sure
effect.
they call people Street Samurai in the novels and stuff when they aren't like Japanese at all. And they
when did I say Japanese? I said explicitly that most Street Samurai are not Japanese.
Well, you said they all carry katanas.
No, well, they will usually carry a katana because but like you're allowed to have a katana when you're not Japanese.
I have a bad character idea.
I know.
Right? I have a bad character.
Okay, I didn't mean Japanese as in like ethnically Japanese. I meant using Japanese culture to an extent where they would be like a neo samurai type person.
No, like the word samurai just it's like it just becomes integrated into like the Western, whatever fucking language the whole world speaks. And it doesn't mean like samurai within the cultural context of feudal Japan, but like this is like a guy who like has some sort of code of honor, and it's like the trope is he has a katana and also guns, but they don't always.
Samurai is overplayed. The whole katana shit. Why use a curved blade? It's just dumb. I'm not even. I'm
so you can cut
because they have a +1 to reach.
Yeah.
And I think they do more armor piercing, which is weird because
-1
that
to
doesn't make
charisma.
fucking sense.
piercing armor.
But like the katana is made that way because the steel was shit.
Yeah,
Not because it was advantageous.
So katana
This is
compared
why
to
Honda
sword
would
in 5th
destroy a
edition,
katana.
katana has +1 to has 1 higher accuracy It has the same reach actually, same damage, 1 higher armor piercing, and it costs twice the
Doesn't make
price.
any fucking sense at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. No.
Fucking armor piercing. Sure, fam. It's not like they were always used to cut through fucking paper.
Listen, if you're using a melee weapon though, you wouldn't get a katana, all right? If you're playing Shadowrun and you want to use melee weapons, you're either going to use cyberware melee weapons like spurs, or you're going to buy a fucking combat axe. You're going to go all out. Because I mean, a combat axe and a katana both are like, you're not going to hide that. You clearly have it on
hammer.
See, I don't...
So you might as well get the thing that does way more damage, has a higher reach. I guess katanas have a higher accuracy, but that's because that's just limits. So.
I don't like that whole aspect of Shadowrun. I just want to make cool characters. If you want to have a katana, that's cool. If you want to have an axe,
anyway,
that's cool. No one should be stronger than the other because it basically it just discourages people from playing the characters that they want to play in favor of something that is just more effective.
Well, okay, so the katana is better in terms of its accuracy. So if you have a higher dice pool but a lower strength, then you're probably going to want to.
The accuracy that people think, oh, it's increased, should also be lost because on a redraw you have no lethality.
Do you have a lethality on a redraw of an axe?
No. Yes, because it's double-sided.
Well,
if
wait, hold on,
the
why
axe
do you think
is
it's double-sided?
double-sided?
Not all axes are double-sided. I'd say most axes are not double-sided.
I might have watched too much Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, if you like both in history and in like modern times, like an axe is not gonna have 2 sides because it's awkward to use that way.
Throwing axes.
Throwing axes wouldn't have 2 sides either. Like if you like a war axe and shit like that, it's all just single blade, because that's how you get the power out of it. Is you fucking bring it down. What's up?
Not much. Just been listening to you guys chatter on.
And he's gone. He must have
It's a weird phenomenon I've noticed with my group. Every time we play Shadowrun, nobody ever wants to use a gun. And every time we play like Pathfinder, there's always at least one person who's using a gun.
Everyone wants to be special and unique.
Yeah, it's like...
What about you got
that was weird.
Samurai guy, right? But because it's located in England, his samurai sword has been confiscated.
What about
I don't remember what the like rules are in England in terms of Shadowrun lore.
Well, England, I think the UK, they're pretty behind on it. I don't think there's been any big stuff released on it in like the current era Shadowrun. I know that they had, like, the king was killed because he started to turn into an ogre, but then the queen or the new king, one of the two, was too young to actually reign, and a Lord Regent was instated, and for some reason they sort of took away the power of the Prime Minister and kind of reinstated monarchy to an extent.
Well, I know Tiernan is a thing for Ireland. Is that part of Northern Ireland too, or?
Yeah, Northern Ireland becomes part of Tiernan.
Yeah, and Scotland has been completely obliterated with nuclear disasters, right?
Well, no, Scotland is still around, but there's been a couple nukes there, yeah. But people still talk weird. People still fuck goats. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with more becquerels. That's what's happening up there.
When it comes to like the only places I know where they have like specifically their like weapon restrictions is the UCAS and then Japan, because Japan is insane. All guns are illegal in Japan, and not only that, if you fire a gun in Japan, the police have some sort of instant teleport bullshit because they will show up within like a few rounds of combat.
Japan just is one of the coolest cyberpunk places, and somehow they made it so it's the least fun to play in. Because you can't really have any other metatypes except for humans, because you're gonna get fucking fucked by the cops.
You can have Oni. You can have Oni.
Yeah, but there's one meta variant of one metatype, and they don't really like them in the society either. Right?
Well, Japan
no, they can like excel fine in that society, but Yeah, I mean, you can have meta types. I mean, a big theme of the game is supposed to be like, racial.
Yeah, but that's like
injustice.
to an extent where it's just no longer reason. You just can't get around as other meta
Yeah, I
types.
get that. It's kind of like playing a drow in D&D.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get shit thrown at you.
You're not allowed guns, and still they have 3 of the fucking Big 10 mega corporations in Japan, and they used to have 4.
They had 4? Who was the fourth?
I've
Evo.
always found kind of dumb about.
No,
Cyberpunk.
Evo was Russian.
Like,
No.
specifically
Evo used to be
still,
Yamatetsu, and then they moved to Vladivostok and stopped being
okay.
racist.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're like the most progressive and politically correct of the of the
aren't
Big
they?
Ten.
They're like head. I don't know if it was their CEO or they're like.
Yeah, they have a
chairman
free
of the
spirit.
board.
Yeah, they have a
Yeah,
free
it's a free
spirit
spirit.
on the board.
What
But
does
they used
what
to
does
be
a spirit do with money?
I don't know. It's they are material. No,
They spend all their money on buying karma.
that's like
like a
what does a dragon do with money?
Well, dragons can like eat and like.
Well,
enjoy
spirits
things,
can
I guess.
eat too.
Do they?
Well, they can.
I didn't know that.
I mean,
They're
it
ghost
depends on
people.
the but
I assume...
spirits like saying spirits is like saying animals.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I don't know what kind of free spirit is. I assumed it was a spirit of man.
I don't think it is, but I don't know.
Look
yeah,
at
they
me
used to be
assuming
like
that a man runs the corporation.
they used to be the most racist of all the Japanese megacorps, which is like a big feat. But then they stopped and moved to Vladivostok and became Evo and like super.
From what I've
progressive.
heard, there's actually a guidebook. I think it was in Street Lethal that explains how like the different corporations act in terms of their Johnsons, and Evo Johnsons are always really fucking nice to you.
Yeah.
Like they're always like super like pleasant, but it's that kind of pleasant that I feel like would almost be like that fake corporate pleasantness. You know, like when you walk into a spa and everyone's kind of nice to you.
I've been actually sort of working for fun on like Shadowrun. What the fuck is happening?
I'm sorry, I'm going next to a road. I have
okay.
to do this to get home every day.
Okay. I thought there was someone breathing heavily into the mic on purpose or some shit. I was
I'm just riding on a bicycle down the road.
Sort of kind of like jokingly working on what was I talking about? On like Shadowrun 2220, which is like would be in like the future where I would mix the Expanse and Shadowrun.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I made like the Big 10 to the Big 15, and Renraku and Shiawase merged into one, so they're the biggest one now. And there's a couple new ones, like the Hellas conglomerate, which is from Mars, and they're like they do have like a Greco-Roman aesthetic. And also they have unions. That's the big thing that differentiates them from the other corps, is that they have super powerful labor unions, but you're never like really sure where the corporation ends and the union begins. You have Vesta StarTech that basically they're from on like Vesta, the asteroid, and they just stole their own corporation from Cedar-Krupp. They just went, nah, we're our own thing now. You have Hyosung DeMarco, which is who invented like the DeMarco drive, which is like the Epstein drive of Shadowrun.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's called the Epstein drive. It's like it's Attorney General Barr looks into Epstein's case. It's the Epstein Barr virus. Yeah, also in my the Epstein of my universe, the not the Jeffrey Epstein, but the Solomon Epstein of my universe was a Sicilian troll. You have the Kajora Corporation, which is like Indonesian, but they're based on Venus and they're super militaristic. Like everything is organized in a military fashion.
Can I just interject? I hate it when like gaming clans are really militaristic in their organization, and they really follow themselves. That's all.
Yeah, they take themselves like super seriously. That's fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good point. The only problem with the Expanse and Shadowrun merging is you'd have to change how the manosphere
Yeah,
works
no,
in
I
space.
just go, yeah, there's magic in space now. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Because I have new meta types also, where it's like
you can have like a sort of like you know what might be interesting if so the manosphere kind of works because there's like life on Earth, right? So what if you had to have like terrariums or like forests inside of like large spaceships?
No, I just say that magic exists in space now. That there was an event and now that's a thing. There's meta variants that people like. There's a new human meta variant where they become where it happens in the asteroid belt and their skin goes gray and they become very long-limbed and have no more hair and they have like big black eyes and huge brains. And there's a dwarven meta variant where they also have no hair and their skin becomes green, and they have like these trumpet ears like Shrek, and that only happens on Mars. So it's basically all those tropes.
Shrek Martians.
Yeah, it's like little green men.
Do orcs become lizard people?
I don't actually know about all of them yet. I want to give each of the meta types a new meta variant, but like reptilians is actually a good idea.
Yeah, that might actually already exist in Shadowrun. I'm not sure.
I mean, there are reptilians. There are reptilian shapeshifters, and there are metasapien. Like you can play Nagas and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Burger. Could I possibly run an idea by you real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm somewhat familiar with all the different, I guess the term would be classes or team roles in like the teams for Shadowrun, right? Like you got the face, the fixer, or like you got the face, you got the street Sam, you got the mage, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you ever seen anyone take a place on the team as like, I guess you could call them the crafter, I guess? Like basically the person
I played that before.
There's people like that. Yeah, I know people like that.
I played a weapon specialist who had like a lot of points into engineering and demolitions and what's the other one? Armorer skill. So basically, he was the guy who was in charge of like fixing people's gear up, building bombs, repairing the vehicles. That usually falls on the rigger normally. Like the rigger normally is the guy who's like building weird shit.
I'm sort of building a troll character, like a Colombian troll character. Who's like an artillery rigger, so he doesn't do anything with vehicles or drones, it's just artillery. And most of his skills are in like, building shit, doing explosives, and also torturing people because he's a fucking sociopath.
There was a character in that was in one of my games that I ran with. It wasn't mine, it was my friend Josh's. And basically the concept was, his name was Mr. Lucky. He had pretty standard like attributes arrays. He was like an adept, but he didn't have that super awesome abilities. He just didn't have that many skills, but he had like normal skills. He like had just gotten out of high school, and his one defining characteristic was his edge rating was 8. So he was just amazing at like fucking anything, but he could only be amazing 8 times a day. And anytime like we had to like go find a place to like park near the van, or like we had to like make sure that no patrols come by, he would just roll his edge stat.
I have like my main Shadowrun character who's like a weapons expert, but he also has a submarine. He has like 5 edge.
So yeah, 5's pretty standard actually. I mean, like 5, if you set your let's see here. If you're a human, and you set your priority to D, which you're going to do if you're not playing a mage character, because you're going to put E in your S for magic, then your edge I think is 5 at that point, isn't it? It's.
I don't understand any of that.
It's the character
The reason I was asking is because, like, the first character I want to make for Shadowrun is basically an Irish gunrunner who got stuck in the Khyber Pass after a deal went bad for a couple years. Street name would be, I'm thinking of going with Kashmir.
You can go with there's a smuggling skill that you can get.
They're like you're playing 5th edition, right?
I'm not completely sure. It's just like the concept I'm building for the character if I get to play, because I've wanted to play Shadowrun for a long time since I first got introduced to it through this YouTube channel, but I just haven't found anyone who
I could find some time to run something in the Discord if people want to play Shadowrun.
Fuck it, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I gotta get used to the system and not try to curl over.
I can run people through it. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to get people through at first, but once you start learning, like the basics of the system are easy to pick up on. I mean, it's basically just you roll attribute plus skill for most things.
That is also as far as I play the skill. Like, even in combat situations, most of the time, I don't even do initiative.
Yeah, like, I'm familiar with, let's see, Pathfinder, World of Darkness, most of the slat books for it included.
It's very similar to World of Darkness if it was way more complicated. Like, in terms of, like, you roll attribute and skill, like, and as a dice pool, you have a number you have to hit to get a success.
I'm familiar with Legend of the Five Rings.
I have actually not played that. I've heard of it. I haven't played it, though.
It's like World of Darkness if the stat system was actually a lot better. Because for starters, you're rolling for an actual target number, not successes. I mean, me personally, I've never really liked the success system as much as actually trying to.
Yeah, I think they changed. I think they did change it to away from the difficulty rules from World of Darkness. I think in 5th edition of World of Darkness, of Vampire specifically. I mean, they just now have where it's like if you roll a 6 or higher, it's a hit, and they just changed like thresholds.
Okay, so maybe I'm more familiar with Old World of Darkness then. I'm not completely sure, because like...
Well, Old World of Darkness had the thing where it was like, you roll, like, your like, strength plus brawl, and then, like, you set a difficulty for the task, and the difficulty is, like, the number you have to roll in the die, right? That's, like, 20th Anniversary Edition, or, like, 3rd Edition, I mean.
The version I'm used to usually goes with, you roll that number of dice and whatnot, but you're looking for successes, which is like, I think you're rolling d10, so it's like 6 and above is a success and 5 and below is a fail.
Oh, I must be an older edition then, because the earliest I've played is V20, which is like the standard, but most people play.
Okay.
But they recently came out with 5th edition Vampire, which is a lot of people don't like it because of the lore changes. Like the Tremere got entirely butt fucked by the Inquisition. Like, the Inquisition showed up in the Tremere Prime Chantry and just, like, destroyed it.
I fucking hate metaplot. I fucking hate metaplot in all of these things. Do not have metaplots. Stop it. The organizations can change, but don't just obliterate like a player race. What the fuck
it's not,
is
no,
wrong
it's still
with
there.
you?
So it's
they still exist, but like they've changed to an extent where it's just they're completely different. Just make a new one.
They basically splintered into different factions. Like, is what happened.
I'll be honest, I never really get into systems beyond the actual system itself. Like, I literally know none of the setting things for anything from Pathfinder to World of Darkness.
Really? Pathfinder's got a really awesome setting.
I'm sure not completely, because there is one character I did make setting friendly with Pathfinder, and I literally made it kind of not necessarily power gaming, but I did it as an experiment to see what I could do by maximizing what I could do with the setting, right? Mm-hmm. And what I did was I started with a Kenku. Why am I saying Kenku? With a why am I saying Kenku?
You mean Tengu or?
Yes, Tengu. Yes, Tengu. I got stuck in 5th edition mindset for a moment. I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
But I was playing a Tengu Oracle using the that weird little nature priest subtype, right? Uh-huh. And I was playing it off with an Oracle of Battle, so I was basically turning it into a pseudo monk of Kane Kalian.
Would an Oracle of Battle be worshiping Kane Kalian? Kane Kalian's not really about battle. He's about drinking.
I know, and I made the character a constant drunk by having a Tengu drinking jug on him 24/7.
Yeah.
I would
actually. Kane Kalian's chill.
I'm very
okay.
interested in Pathfinder for like the setting. The setting of Pathfinder is pretty cool, but the system is just way too fucking complicated for me.
You just don't like third edition, like 3.5.
Okay, are we talking in first edition Pathfinder or second edition Pathfinder? Because there's a
Oh yeah,
big
they just
fucking-
can't. I haven't played in second edition Pathfinder yet.
Second edition Pathfinder is just they basically replaced everything with feats. I'm not even fucking with you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's weird. It works.
I love the
but
meme
it's
by it though. It's just like, yeah, Pathfinder's got way too much feats. That was like the main problem that everyone had with Pathfinder. Is like, yeah, it's so feat dependent. And they're like, okay,
I
you
like feats.
Say we have too many feats. Well, how about we make everything feats? Your attributes, feats. Your skills, feats. Your weapon proficiencies, feats.
I like
Your
feats
race,
because they're
feats.
flexible, but like,
Yeah, it's
God
good. But
damn it!
the problem with Pathfinder though is, while you have so many options to branch out, it definitely penalizes you if you don't go down specific like feat paths. Like if you are a fighter and you aren't going like, power strike, if you're going like down power strike and the power strike path, or you are an archer and you aren't going down like point blank shots path, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite examples to use for that is the martial arts feats. Those are so poorly optimized. Oh my god.
The style feats.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them are really good, and some of them are just like useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm interested in the Pathfinder campaign setting, but yeah,
The setting is really good. It's got a lot of it's got really interesting things. I think they had a thing where one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best adventure paths. They converted that to 5th edition. Sort of. They made a bestiary for everything that shows up in the adventure in 5th edition, so you can run the game in 5th edition. So that's kind of cool, but I prefer Pathfinder because I like complex systems.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I would like to like complex systems, but my brain cannot handle them. I cannot do simple math. That's my problem.
I get
Okay,
that.
you know what's like what I've actually wanted to try getting into, but I haven't had the chance? Fucking Starfinder.
Starfinder is, in my opinion, not good. It's very It's crunchy, but in like a very stiff way. Like so many of the abilities are so very like contextual to just combat that it just doesn't feel right. Magic feels off. Like there isn't exactly magic, right? There's like space sci-fi magic, which is completely different. Which is odd because I'm pretty sure Pathfinder and Starfinder are supposed to be the same setting.
They are. It's Starfinder's the far future, and they are compatible. There's a chapter in the end of the Starfinder core rulebook to convert Pathfinder characters over to Starfinder, and I guess technically speaking, you can do 5th edition as. Why am I saying 3.5 as well?
Okay, well, I mean, maybe, but there's so many abilities that like just don't feel right. Like it's I played it and it seemed off to me. Like it didn't feel good to play.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I get where you're coming from on that. The thing is, though, we don't really have a lot of like proper or science fantasy settings these days, and that's one of the reasons I want to play, right? Because the only other option you have really is
Star Wars. Yeah.
I'm actually developing a science fantasy setting pretty heavily.
I mean, Shadowrun's kind of a science fantasy
No,
setting,
it's a
but it's
cyberpunk
not like...
fantasy setting, really.
Yeah.
No,
isn't cyberpunk a branch off of sci-fi? I mean,
it's a subgenre of sci-fi, yeah, but it's not really sci-fi. I'm talking space shit, right?
Yeah,
but there's
like
yeah,
sci-fi.
Warhammer 40k. That's a science fantasy.
Oh yeah, 40k is great.
I don't like it. It's too grimdark.
You're just not cool enough for 40k, dude.
No, it's too grimdark.
Okay.
There's too little light. It's just there is no contrast. It's just
there shouldn't be light. It's grimdark.
Here's the thing with here's
No,
the thing
but that
with Warhammer,
makes the
right?
grimdark feel less dark.
Well, okay, so
Well, no,
that
you
way
have
it's
to-
just edgy.
The way you contrast that is by looking at like it on a personal level. Like if you zoom out for 40K, right?
Yeah, but
everything's grimdark, everything's
try
always awful,
actually
it's
playing.
bad.
Try actually playing with people, like 40K with people, and doing it on a personal level. Every single 40K campaign I have ever seen, every single game has just been, oh, and then there's the fucking the commissar, and we kill the commissar, and there's the grunts, and haha, we all die. It's just not. I've
Welcome to
never seen
40K.
any 40K
I've-
gameplay that wasn't just edgy kids being edgy.
Okay, that is a big part of
Okay,
it. That's mainly because of the kind of crowd that 40K attracts. It definitely ends up being the more like Munchkin-y type, like
No.
edgy
because
boys kinda
it's
play it.
literally either worship the Emperor or die.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's just
right.
Those
dumb.
things are all true, right? But there's one thing to it that you cannot deny is good. Well, most of it anyway, depending on where you look, and that is the fan fiction.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, but
the whole
crushes
thing about like you have to worship the
fan
Emperor or die.
fiction.
I'm saying that you can't play an interesting character in a setting like that is like saying you can't play an interesting character in medieval Europe. Like back then, you
Medieval
either worship
Europe
God or
is
you
not
die.
grimdark.
Medieval Europe is not grimdark.
Sure, it
No,
is.
the point he was making though was saying that like you can't play an interesting character because everyone's just like, oh, you gotta worship the Emperor or you die. And I'm saying that you can still have interesting characters who worship the Emperor and live in that oppressive society.
Well, yeah, but like for me, that's the fucking. I don't even care about the emperor worshipping bit. It's just the general part of the setting that's just grimdark as fuck. And probably it's mostly the crowd that it attracts. That's
It's just
true.
learn from the crowd. I mean, I totally get it because most of the time when I end up playing like 40K games, it is people like that who are just like, yeah, and then a demon comes out and you fight the demon and it's cool and it fucking dies
That's
and you
the
shoot
whole
guns in
point
the
of it.
air.
The
Not
point
the
of
point of
40
it though.
The point of 40K is because it's designed around miniatures based on warfare. It's just not. It's an excuse to have fights. If everyone hates each other, then you're always going to have a fight. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
okay,
why.
so-
That's what makes the setting boring.
D&D itself was based around fucking miniatures.
All fucking these games
Yeah,
are based
it's
around
all
miniature
based
fight.
around fucking. Like,
They all
chainmail.
come from Prussian wargaming.
Yeah, exactly. Prussian war games turned into like Lord of the Rings
Prussian.
war games into
Prussian.
chainmail into D&D.
Prussia is illegal now.
Prussia's
Because a state is the sole reason why war.
So
I
yeah,
th-
that's why I don't like fucking Warhammer. It's just too edgy. And like not a cool way. There's probably people who like a good like there's probably like 2 campaigns on the planet where there's just good people playing the game and it's not super grimdark. But
When
I'm
I
not.
played, it seemed to be much more about like camaraderie. You know what I mean? Like because we were playing only war, and
I
it was
don't.
much more
I
about like
don't.
our squad like getting along and like having like fun. Like it was like basically like like a fucking like war movie type thing where it's like
Yeah.
you get to know the squad and some people die and it's like oh no this person died.
But there's not a lot of campaigns like that. And though I do believe that chainsaw swords are cool, they're not that cool that I would just wade through the swamp of shitty campaigns to find the good one.
That's true. It is. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's an issue with a lot of games where
Yeah, that's
you
true.
have to find the
Shadowrun,
right
too.
people to. You have to find the right people to play with, and if you don't, you're gonna have a bad time.
You have that with D&D, where it's like, oh, I'm so cool and powerful, and this enemy is cool and powerful. And you have
Yeah.
this with, like, Shadowrun, where just everyone's a dick, and, oh, you just fuck everyone over all the time, and everyone tries to fuck over everyone else, and we're gonna kill these people now. And it's like, no. No, fuck you. Like Shadowrun has this problem, too. I just feel that, like, Warhammer 40k is the epitome of having that problem.
Mm-hmm. I had a good character moment the other day in Shadowrun because my character is kind of like he's the face, right? And so he's trying to be like cool, calm, and collected while talking to the Johnson. And we just brought on a new guy,
I think
who's
the best
like
place for sci-fi.
basically autistic muscle man, and I had to like tell him like, listen here, motherfucker.
I think
please
the
stop
best-
interjecting random bullshit into the thing. But I was doing it in character. I didn't out of character. I didn't care, and he knew I didn't care. But like in character, obviously, as the face, I was very upset that this muscle man was coming in, putting a fucking damper on negotiations.
I think the best sci-fi to do roleplay in is Star Wars because you have so many options.
I don't usually like playing games in an established like setting in terms of like there's a narrative that's going on. Like I get like Star Wars thing is fine because it's just a big
Just like
universe.
post-Endor and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, but it's just I feel like so often people want to try and relate the actual Star Wars game to it. It's kind of like in Shadowrun, you'll get people who are occasionally be like, "Oh, and then Harley Quinn shows up," or "Oh, and then Lawford shows up."
No, that's metaplot. Fuck metaplot. Just pretend that metaplot isn't a thing. Like
I had
for me,
Lawford show up like one time, and it was literally at the end of a campaign, and it was just sort of like the like, boom, you guys have made it. Like you're. Because they were working for Zoderkrop at the time.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it, by the way?
Zederkrupp.
Okay. I used to always say Seder Corp or something like that.
Zederkrupp, yeah, you can also say Zederkrupp. AE is basically the way of writing the umlaut air without the letter air.
Oh, okay. Got it.
You have that.
So they were like working for them, and they got like really high up in the organization. And at one point, like I had Loafer show up, and he'd be like, "Oh, I got a job for you," and then we ended the game there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but like any metaplot shit, like I don't like the Shadim. Because
I had Shadim show up, but that was more of a very personal thing with them.
The Shadim is like we had metaplot with the insect spirits, but I feel like the insect spirits are a lot more iconic than the Shadim because the Shadim, like they're scary because they're huge tentacle monsters, but they're not as scary as some of the
Shadim are huge tentacle monsters. I actually had no idea. I thought
they look like jellyfish on the astral.
I did not know that. I thought they looked like just like shadow people or something.
No. They're like huge jellyfish.
Okay. Well, I mean, Shadim are scary. I think Shadim are really scary because the concept of someone like invading your body is really terrifying.
Yeah, so, but like, I had just assumed that was already a thing. That is already a thing in Shadowrun. You can implant spirits into people. You could do that since day one. And so
they can't. But the difference is Shadim can when you're actually projecting as a mage, a Shadim can walk into your body and take it over.
Yeah, but like, so can another mage.
No,
that's one of the major problems with astrally walking. This is even in the oldest Shadowrun books. You have this here, but don't stay away too long because you don't know what might settle down in your body. Shadim are just extremely good at that shit. They can evict you from your body. So that's why
what? No, they can't force you to astrally project.
No, they can't force you to astrally project, but they can evict you.
Someone say something about stealing bodies.
Yeah.
So, like, they're pretty fucking powerful. They're pretty scary, but they're not as scary as some of the other shit. And
also,
I think
Shadim are sort of the way you get undead in the game too, because Shadim's main thing is they inhabit dead bodies.
Yeah, that's true.
So zombies and I had them show up because I wanted a mummy to fight them. So I had a Master Shadim show up in like an ancient tomb.
But I feel like they're not as iconic as insect spirits, and most of the thing that they have is like, oh, they're metaplots. Oh, the evil creatures from the outer planes are trying to invade. Like, I don't give a shit. Don't make things that will potentially make the world no longer exist. That's not how you run a fucking setting. Because we know that that's not going to happen because it would destroy literally your entire setting.
Yeah.
Whoa. What if you roleplay and you're on Alderaan?
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna be kind of cool if you like got away and you saw the planet explode.
Yeah.
Ha! Better them than me.
I think it's actually time to end the stream. We've been here for over 2 hours. Yeah. So let's end this for a minute. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you around, cunts, and so forth.